What's up, BikeRumor fans? Hey, guess what? This bike right here, this is a 4-bar linkage horse link design. You know what's missing? Any kind of pivot or bearing hardware right back there. This is the all-new 2021 Cannondale Scalpel. You can get it as the XC race version with 100mm travel and a lefty fork, or as the Scalpel SE, which is this one right here with 120mm travel rear, 120mm fork, same frame. All you gotta do is switch the shock and the fork and you can get two different bikes out of this. So despite an entirely new suspension design, entirely new frame design, the option to run more travel than ever before for the Scalpel model, this one only adds a few grams over the prior model because Cannondale hates adding weight. You know what they hate even more? Having their bikes sit around inside. So there's a lot going on with this bike. Let's head outside and out to the trail to check it out. The new Scalpel is designed to give you more speed per watt, and the new 4-bar linkage suspension is tuned to give you just a tiny bit of pedal squat so you never lose traction. More on that in a second. A typical 4-bar design has a pivot point on the back of the chainstays, just in front of the axle. Cannondale replaced that with a flat carbon section called FlexPivot. The result is a laterally stiff pivot location that only sees a few degrees of rotation, requires no maintenance, won't develop any play or wear, and saves 200 grams. Up front, they created an extremely wide chainstay yoke to house the main pivot. It's tucked inside the seat tube in what they call a chainstay garage. This spreads the pivot bearings as wide as possible, using the full width of the bottom bracket shell below it. Not only does it save weight and provide plenty of tire clearance, it allowed them to create this massive box section to create an extremely stiff lower section to maximize power transfer. Up top, they've moved the rocker's main pivot onto the seat tube under the shock. It's a much shorter, lighter, and stiffer rocker, and its position is different for all frame sizes to deliver the right kinematics for different size riders. Cannondale recommends 11mm of shock stroke sag, which works out to about 26%. Getting it just right makes a big difference in this bike's performance, so they print it directly on the seat tube. The new Scalpel is designed for 1x drivetrains only and comes mostly with Shimano 1x12 groups with SRAM Eagle on the base models. Most models come with a 34-tooth chainring, and two women's models swap for a smaller 32-tooth ring. A chain catcher comes stock and is adjustable for various chainring sizes. Other features include 760mm wide flat bars with ESI silicone foam grips. Bar and stem are from Cannondale on all models, and the 120mm SE models get their down-low dropper post. All models come with a front wheel speed sensor to pair with their app. The 120mm Travel SE models use the all-new RockShox SID fork and SID Lux rear shocks to keep things light. All cables and hoses run inside the frame, sliding through a rubberized tube to make installation and service easy. Under the top tube is an exit port for a rear shock remote lockout, and mounting points for a Shimano Di2 battery. There's no mounts for the Fox live valve system, so we're thinking this is purely a future-proofing measure, but it's quite possible they know something we don't. The rear through axle has been widened to 12x148 boost spacing, and it gets a slotted speed release dropout, so you don't have to slide the axle all the way out of the rear hub to remove the wheel. All Scalpel models are now 29er only in all frame sizes. The 100mm Travel Scalpel Carbon comes with 2.25-inch tires front and rear. The 120mm Travel Scalpel SE gets a larger 2.35-inch tire up front. One of the coolest features is their new Stash integrated tool system. It holds and comes with the new Dynaplug Carbon Racer tire repair tool, and a fabric 8-in-1 mini tool that slides into the frame. It has a strap for your CO2 or mini pump, and a standard bottle cage fits on top of it. Another bottle cage mount is on the seat tube too. That's the overview. Now let's head to the trails. The first thing I noticed about the new Scalpel was just how quick the handling is. Our trails are a great mix of tight, twisty single track, and I could easily whip the Scalpel through them. There's not much elevation gain on offer, so we're sitting and pedaling a lot, and the Scalpel is just as quick to maneuver seated as when standing and throwing the bike in and out of a series of corners. A lot of trail bikes feel like they're just shorter travel versions of a brand's all-mountain or enduro bike. The new Scalpel SE flips that script. It feels like a really fast, light trail bike that's built off a cross-country race machine, which is exactly what it is. And it climbs like a beast. Cannondale's new suspension allows for a bit of pedal squat, which helps the rear tire dig into the ground for better traction, particularly on the climbs. The result is a bike that scoots right up a hill no matter how rocky or rooty it is. Which is all well and good, unless the bike can't handle those same roots and rocks when you're coasting and smashing through them on the descent. Fortunately, the new FlexPivot horse-link suspension handles high-speed hits really well too. That's me riding the bike. Notice how the rear tire maintains good contact with the ground. If you're concerned about that flexible carbon stay, don't be. They're really not moving that much, only about 8 degrees at most. Even with my friend Mike hitting this section at full speed, we couldn't see the stays flex, and he's got a good 40 pounds on me. A couple of years ago, someone built this oddly placed rock section. Most would look at it and snake through them, but if you hit them with enough speed, a good bike can flow right over them. And the Scalpel SE is a good bike. A trail bike's ability to soak up bumps is meaningless if it wallows up and down due to travel when you're pedaling. I never really use a lockout because, well, I like my suspension to do its thing. So it's a good thing the Scalpel doesn't suffer from pedal bottom. Yeah, it moves a little if you stand up and hammer, but all full suspension bikes do. I never felt like this one had undue motion, but I definitely felt very, very fast on this bike. For my local trails and my riding style, the Scalpel SE is a great fit. If you like or need a bike that handles like a race car, pedals efficiently, and can still handle the rock gardens and rooted carpets, it's worth a look. While I've definitely come around to the idea of a 120mm fork on an XC bike, one of the things I really like about this Scalpel is that you can easily switch it to a pure race bike by putting a 100mm travel fork and a shorter stroke shock in it. But honestly, for most riders, I think they're going to be as fast as they want to be on this model while enjoying the extra travel, and it can easily be built up light enough for XC racing. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want all of the specs, pricing, the different models, the full written review, and lots of photos, head over to BikeRumor.com and just search the word Scalpel, or check out the notes in the description below. They're right there. If you like this review and you want more great bike and component reviews for everything from road to gravel to cyclocross, mountain, enduro, XC, trail, you name it, we cover all of that here on the BikeRumor YouTube channel. Just hit that little subscribe button right there. Check out some of our other great videos. I'm guaranteed you'll find something you like. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and stay safe out there.
Bunny hop your whole thing. That would be a hell of a shot.